Hello, this is the video for O Holy Night for the top part. We're going to be following this top line. Verse 1, we follow the lyrics up here. Verse 2, we follow the lyrics down here. Before we start, we have 6 beats of rest before we come in. This is a whole measure rest, 4 beats. That's half rest, 2 beats. And there's these, in the piano part, these patterns of 6 notes, and there's 3 of them before we start. Also, I am playing the MIDI file to play the background music for this, and MIDI stands for Musical Instrument Digital Interface. And the bad thing about the MIDI is that any part where the music slows down, like right here, it doesn't slow down. It just keeps going at the same steady beat all the way through. These fermatas where we're supposed to have a pause in the music, they don't even do that. They just keep going. And then here where it says slowing and broadening in the second ending, it doesn't do that. So just keep in mind that when we actually do it, we are going to be slowing down both the first ending and the second ending, and we are going to be pausing on "Oh Night Divine." If you look at the piano part here, it has this pattern 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you play this chord where everyone pauses, and then you have to play another set of notes here, da da da. Okay, so this is an important pause, and we can't skip it when we really do it. But yeah, the MIDI just goes right through it. Now we're gonna have to memorize these words, and when the MIDI plays it, it scrolls through the music automatically, and there's some parts where you kind of have to have the words memorized in order to know what you're gonna sing, because it'll show up right at the top of the second page when you're already supposed to be singing it. So you kind of have to know what's coming up. So the first verse says, "A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices." Okay? And then the second verse, this is the one I always forget, says, "Sweet hymns of joy and grateful chorus raise we." Sweet hymns of joy and grateful chorus raise we. By the way, if I didn't explain this in class, I feel like there's this one part of the lyrics that I should explain where it says, "Long lay the world in sin and error pining till he appeared and the soul felt its worth." This is talking about before Jesus was born, that the world was pining. They were longing for Jesus to come, for the Messiah to come. Okay, so when it says pining, it is expressing a longing for Jesus to come. And again, it's the words are set as if they're waiting right before Jesus's birth rather than present day. Let's see. There's some whole notes in the music that whenever you have a whole note, you hold it out for 4 beats and you cut off at the beginning of the next measure. So you don't want to cut that off early, okay? And let's see what else I need to go over. There are some spots where it can get kind of high. So I'm going to go through this really quickly. I'm not going to hold out the full value of all the beats. I'm going to go over how it's written, how to sing it in the octave that's written, and then if it's too high, I'm going to go over going an octave below, just in certain sections, okay? So this part, if you do it as written, it says, "Weary world rejoices, I'm cutting it short. But if that's too high for you, then you want to sing what's written here, but then here you want to jump down an octave. And then I think you can do it all the way through till here. You want to go back to singing where they are. Okay, so I'm going to do it an octave lower on those parts now. So it would be, "Weary world rejoices, fall on your knees, hear voices," and then, "Oh night divine, night So then you would just sing it as is there. There's another spot where it can be kind of high. This is on the second ending. It says, His power and glory evermore proclaim. So I did write in the lower option here. So you could just, instead of going from the lower E up to the higher E, you could just stay on this low E and then go down from there. And it would sound like this. His power and glory evermore proclaim. Okay, so that's how that would sound. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it that I need to go over with you. So when I press start, just follow the blue line. There's going to be a blue line here that shows you when it's time to come in, but it's 6 beats. So, okay, are you ready? Let's get started. Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices. Fall on your knees, hear voices, O night divine, night when Christ was born. O night divine, O night divine. 1, 2. Truly he taught us to love one another. His law is love and his gospel is peace. Chain shall he break, for the slave is our brother, and in his name all oppression shall cease. Sweet hymns of joy in grateful chorus raise we. Christ is the Lord. Praise ever his power and glory more proclaim. His power and glory evermore proclaim. Okay, there was something else that I caught this time around that I forgot to go over with you. It is in the second verse on the first page, where it says, Chains shall he break, for the slave is our brother, and in his name all oppression shall cease. Oppression is like trying to hold people down, and kind of trample their rights. So this is saying the bad guys who want to hold people down and trample the rights of others, that Jesus wants that to go away. So cease means end. So chains shall Jesus break. That's the bottom part here. Here we go. Chains shall he break, for the slave is our brother, and in Jesus' name all oppression shall cease or end. And this is a little bit of a tongue twister if you sing it fast enough. Let's see. And in his name all oppression shall cease. I think the first time I went over that, I kind of tripped over my words there. So that's a part worth practicing. All oppression shall cease. Okay, so I think that's about it. If there are any other spots that you have a hard time with, just let me know in class. I know there are some spots that are really weird where we don't have all the words in our part, and we kind of go back and forth between the two parts where your part will have words when the other part doesn't, and then the other part will have the words when you don't. So that's why there are some parts where the words drop out. There's one part especially near the end. Let's see where that was. Well, one part is obviously hear voices. Well, it's hear the angel voices. And it's just that we have here, the other part has the angel, and then we both come in at voices. I guess it's the same one for the second verse too, where it says praise. We say praise. The other group says his name for, and then we come in the middle of the word ever. Praise his name forever is the whole phrase. So yeah, there are a few parts that are a little weird because we're just taking the words back and forth between the two parts. And the reason for that is this is actually based off of an instrumental version, but I just really like that instrumental version, so I decided that we'd use this and just put the words to it. I think it's really pretty. It's relatively easy to learn. So anyway, thank you for practicing with me, and if you have any questions, just let me know in class. Bye.